This is Frank Fantini. We're here now with Jamie Odell, who is the CEO of Aristocrat Technologies. And this is a company that had made a promise a couple of years ago that it was going to have a much stronger presence in North America. It was going to have much better games and have delivered on that promise. And it's been demonstrated by significantly increased market share. And Jamie, just tell us a little bit about the Aristocrat strategy, how it's played out and how you see it playing out.
Thanks, Frank. And you summed up nicely. We recognize that America is the most important gaming market for us, and we need to increase our scale over here. So we worked hard at that, and we basically focused on great content, great people, and great technology. So it's been quite a journey. You'll recall last time we spoke, we talked about a 5-year turnaround journey, and that's the sort of investment we had to make in the long term. Focusing on getting great people into the business, and now really getting more and more studios over here in America making games for America. So in Class 3, we're really pleased about that. We've of course expanded a long way from Class 3 now. Class 3 is just over half our business. We have a strong Class 2 business with VGT, 100% American, recurring revenue, great product. And our digital business really primarily based out of the US. So 2/3 of our business now is American based, and we're really proud of the content that we're bringing out. You'll see the games. I think we're getting great third-party recognition, which is always the most important. Customer recognition, as you say, that's coming through in market share gains. And our job is to continue to sustain and deliver that value for our customers and for our shareholders.
Now, your two biggest competitors, IGT and Scientific Games, have gone sort of, I'm not sure if it's fair to call it the conglomerate route, but they are now really gaming conglomerates. They got lottery arms, and they've got, headquarters in one country and a CEO in another and production in yet a third. You've taken a more focused route. Maybe you could tell us about that.
Yeah, look, we're great believers in focus and really trying to build incumbencies in strong markets. So if you think about our strong businesses around the world, and we've taken a slightly different path, in markets like Australia and Asia Pacific in Class 3, we have really, really strong positions and strong strategic customer relationships. In the US, in the last 5 years, we've been growing market share here, both in the for sale market and in gaming operations. And we also, we also have a great systems business over here as well. And then buying VGT was really clearly another incumbency, a very, very strong Class 2 manufacturer with great product, great people over in Oklahoma. And then our digital business, which is really a social-based business with Aristocrat Core Games. So for us, it's about having a meaningful place, strength, incumbency, strategic relationships, and not trying to be all things to all people, recognizing part of what we've actually done in the last few years is to exit a few businesses where, frankly, we didn't have the capability to run them well and sustainably. So being honest about that and focusing on the things that we can control and which drive value. So yeah, it's a slightly different approach, but frankly, we're delighted with the results that we're seeing.
Right. The gaming industry is changing very fast. It's almost changing faster every day than the day before. Some of this is in types of games. We see the rising here in the U.S. of daily fantasy sports, and now even newer variant of that is esports. We've seen exchange wagering. You've mentioned digital. How does Scientific Games, how does Aristocrat?
You've had a long day, Frank.
Yeah, I have. We just had Gavin Isaacs from Scientific Games here, as you know. How does Aristocrat play in this super fast-paced changing environment?
Well, we go back to forms of distribution. You're right, it's changing very quickly, and a lot of talk about the millennials at the moment and how they use devices and how that changes the world. There's no question that that's changing things. It's got a lot of people thinking. But as I said in the last question, really, for us it's about focus. So we're focusing on content, and we are very alert to what goes on in the world. In some areas, we believe it's better to be a fast follower than an innovator, and in other areas, it's better to be an innovator to get that first mover advantage. So for us, really, the growth at the moment is taking what we believe is the world's leading content and spreading it onto different multiple devices, so you can play it on phones, on iOS, Android, tablet, and no doubt other devices yet to be dreamed up and imagined. So we think of that as our core capability as the devices change, and also the way that people interact with their devices. In a mobile situation, they say people play on a mobile phone for maybe 5 minutes, they play on a tablet for half an hour, they play on a slot machine for maybe an hour, so it's a different way of interacting. In terms of those other areas you talked about, we're constantly strategically looking at those areas, working out if they fit for us, if we have the capability. But in our case, we've recently really grown our business through 2 acquisitions, and both of those, VGT and Product Madness, involved bringing those people into the business as opposed to assuming we could run the businesses better. So we're constantly looking at those areas, but at the moment we're just seeing great success with our core focus and not wanting to distract from that. And I'll be very interested to see what the conversations are with customers here at the show this week, what competitors are showing this week. We are investing more and more money, I would say, into exploring new areas, and putting people in those areas and developing technology, but we're not putting that money against specific product at this point. We want to keep our powder dry until we feel confident we've got the right product.
And my understanding is you've given, for example, VGT a fair amount of autonomy.
Yeah. I know. In fact, it's actually still less than a year. We completed on that October 20 last year, so we've had it less than a year. It's been performing brilliantly well. The president, Jay Sevigny, has got a good team in there. So we do interact. Jay sits on our global leadership team. Rich Schneider, our Chief Product Officer, works with the technology and the product through. So there's strong interaction. But from the beginning, that was a business which was going to be about growing revenue as opposed to cutting cost. And I'm delighted we've delivered on that. It means that we've had basically a seamless transition. And as our shareholders saw at the first half, just fantastic performance coming out of that business. It's a far better motivating way to grow your business through growing the top line than cutting the bottom line. And we're fortunate that acquisition we've been able to do that. I have to say the cultural fit, the people in VGT with Aristocrat is phenomenal. We have the same values, very passionate people, courageous people, lots of respect, high integrity. So that means a lot to us. And I think over the course of the next 12 months, we'll probably look at, with Jay, at how we can continue to improve the business. But hopefully those will be accretive ideas. The main product technology we launched this year actually was at the NIGA show when we launched a wide area progressive on VGT Class 2 for the first time, and that's proving to be very successful for us using Aristocrat technology and VGT game IP. So it's those sort of areas of growth that we are looking at.
One of the buzzwords this year is skill-based gaming. Anything from Aristocrat?
You know, we're being a bit cautious on that at the moment. We are investing money in people and ideas, but we really think that maybe this is an area to watch and wait and see. You know, I look at skill gaming in this industry from 2 aspects. The first is attracting, I say people talk about millennials, but attracting more millennials into the casino floor. And I think that's very possible, both through skill games, but also other forms of entertainment. You know, which the casino operators are far better than we are at working out what's going to bring those people in. Then keeping them here is how you monetize with skill game. I think that's still unproven, frankly. You know, you got to think about a slot machine, how that monetizes compared to a game of skill, and clearly it won't monetize at the same rate. So we have to be honest about that and work out how we can develop assets which actually do give value by sustaining, players in the on the slot floor, on the gaming floor, but actually try and find ways to keep them there. So. Yeah, I would say cautious, but investing, and I'm pleased with the position now. We can invest more and more in it, but we're not going to be showing any big breakthroughs here, more listening to customers and working out what's going on. I think there's a lot of, there will be a lot of attempts at skill gaming, there'll also be a lot of failures. Right. So we're going to wait and see what washes up from that.
And I also wonder, my own observation as to whether regulators could even keep up with the evolution, and the evolution doesn't come from the companies, it comes from the players.
Yeah, and skill gaming is such a broad category. So just to be clear, we have brought in some management to look at skill gaming specifically, but you can go from everything from sort of touch phones through to big arcade games, right? The definition of skill, it could be you sitting on a motorbike, scoring by going faster, more accurately, or it could be playing a match 3 type game. Skill gaming itself is such a broad category. And how will that play through for the players who want to continue to spend time on it, and how will it also play through for the operators that they can retain the players within their property?
Now, we're at the world's biggest gaming show, and folks are going to wonder what's new. What are the 1 or 2 products they absolutely must see at the Aristocrat booth this year?
Yeah, everyone will say the same thing. It's tough, right? Because everyone loves all of their babies. There's so many things. For us, we talked at the beginning about the way we've moved into product aimed at the American players. So you'll see lots of nice brand licenses, Game of Thrones and TED and licenses like that stand out. But I guess if I was going to call out a couple, it would be of our own IP, proprietary. And start with Buffalo. Buffalo, 4 years in a row, called out as the most popular game in the US. That's phenomenal. We've got a new version of Buffalo called Buffalo Grand. It's a wide area on a beautiful double arc. It looks phenomenal, and that's something which I think is just going to be an amazing success in this marketplace. Another product I'd call out is kind of what you might call a legacy Aristocrat product. It's called Lightning Link, and it's a great maths model, comes out of our HRG studio in Australia, and just a great maths model. I think this product, and has been released in Australia for, I'm going to say 9 months, has been phenomenally successful, by far the most successful popular game in Australia for that period, and has got great sustainability. It's got the natural scatter of an old Aristocrat game with a great maths model. It's also got a jackpot chase coming through. It's a phenomenal game. So we're showing that here. It's actually just been launched in a few markets as well, and I think that's going to be different to a lot of product out here in that it's going to have real longevity. You remember the days the products used to stay on the floor for years and years and years? They're rarer,
right?
And I think Lightning Link's going to be one of those.
Final question. Our core client is the investor.
Yeah.
What would you like investors to better understand about Aristocrat?
Well, Aristocrat's quite unique, really. We're an Australian-based company with the majority of our product being sold overseas, and the product in the Americas. So certainly we give exposure to the US market. We're a really innovative company. We file just about as much IP as anybody in Australia. So we're an ideas company. We've built a model in the last few years which is based more and more on recurring revenue. So we have now more than half our revenues on recurring revenues, and we therefore believe we have a sustainable business model with a growth profile, and our job is to keep it going. But our share prices, I think we were up 35-40% in the last 12 months, and so our shareholders at this stage giving us a message they're pleased with our strategy, and it's our job to make sure that we continue to focus on the execution.
Okay, Jamie, thank you. Very
Thanks,
interesting.
Frank. It's a pleasure.